So let's get back to our literature class, The Merchant of Venice, Act 4, Scene 1. We had stopped where the new lawyer was given permission to enter into the court, and the Duke had questioned the new lawyer whether he was familiar with the case in question. And the lawyer says, yes, I am quite aware of it. Then she inquires about the two people involved in the case, the merchant and the moneylender, and they are introduced by the Duke. Then the lawyer asks Antonio whether he confesses the bond. That is, he accepts that he received the money, he agrees to the conditions laid down in it and ready to pay the forfeiture. That's where we stopped. Then Portia asks, will it not be appropriate that Shylock shows certain amount of mercy towards Antonio? Then Shylock asks, why should I show mercy? Why should I show mercy? Tell me the reason. Then Portia says, what is mercy and why we should show mercy? We shall begin from there. So this is a Portia speech on mercy. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. So Portia says, it's a wonderful quality. Mercy is a wonderful quality. The quality of mercy is not strained. It is not forced. Nobody forces you to be merciful. Nobody says that by all means you have to show mercy. No. Mercy has to come from the heart. Mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven. Just like a drizzle. Not a heavy rain. Like a drizzle. Just softly it drops down to the earth from the sky. It should be like that. Mercy should come forth from the heart, not forced by anybody. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. That is the most beautiful thing about mercy. It is twice blessed. How it is twice blessed? It blesses the person who gives and it blesses the person who receives. It blesses the person who shows mercy and it blesses the person who is shown mercy. That means the receiver is blessed because he is giving, he is showing mercy. It comes from his heart. His generosity is blessed by the Lord. And the one who receives also is blessed because he is shown mercy. A great burden is taken away from him. A great sin has been forgiven. A great redemption. Therefore it is twice blessed. It blesses him that gives and him that takes. It is mightiest in the mightiest. The mightiest means the most powerful man. It is mightiest in the mightiest. It is the most powerful one with the most powerful. Who is the most powerful people? The rulers, the kings. It is the most powerful one among the kings. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power. They attribute to awe and majesty. wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. So now Persia is saying, why kings are feared? Kings, emperors, rulers, they are feared, they are respected. People have respect for them, also they have fear. Why? What is the reason? It is because of this. Because of the throne, because of the crown, because of the scepter. What is throne, you know? Throne is the seat of the king, where the king is seated. So king sitting on the throne, great dignity, great power, authority. What is crown? Crown is the, what is on his head? Is a crown of victory, crown of kingship. The king with his crown has a great power. Scepter. Scepter is a sort of staff, stick, staff they will be holding. Kings will be holding the staff. So these are the three things that gives power to the kings. Throne, crown, scepter. Power and authority is rested with throne, crown and scepter. Supposing that these three are not there, there is no throne. A king without a throne, a king without a crown, a king without a scepter. They are powerless. People don't respect them, people don't fear them. When the enemy attacks, if any of these three is taken away, then the king becomes less powerful. So Persia says, the mightiest among the mightiest is mercy, because kings are being feared and respected because of these three things. But mercy is much more than that. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and earthly power doth then show likest gods when mercy seasons justice. See how wonderfully she enumerates mercy. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. Why it is greater than all these three things? The kings who hold these three things, the mercy is ruling their hearts. It is an attribute to God himself. Mercy is an attribute to God. What is attribute? Attribute is a characteristic or quality. It is a quality of God's. We have the saying, no? To err is human, to forgive is divine. To err means to do something wrong, to go wrong. To err is human, but to forgive is divine. It's a quality of the divine, quality of God's mercy. It is seated in the hearts of kings who are very powerful. Kings are being feared because of their throne, crown and scepter. But the kings who have mercy in their hearts, they are more respected and loved. Since it's a quality of God's, when mercy seasons with justice, it is well appreciated. Seasons means moderates. Moderates justice. So you are asking for justice. Very fine. Justice will be given to you. But if we can combine mercy along with justice, then that will be highly appreciated. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth reach us all to render the deeds of mercy. So, Persia is saying, if none of us would be seeing salvation, salvation is redemption, we will not be saved. There is a belief that our next birth will be condemned according to what we did here on earth. See, in our coming lives, we will not be saved, we will not be spared if all our sins are to be considered. It is God's mercy that makes us free after our death. See, if God hasn't been merciful to us, we would not have been saved. Consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy. And that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. Yes. Just because of the fact, we should be more merciful to people. Because we do a lot of sins and we live at the mercy of God. Therefore, we should be more merciful so that God will show mercy to us. I have spoken thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which, if you thou follow this strict course of Venice, must needs give sentence against the merchant there. So Portia says, what is the purpose of my doing this? I am giving you a lecture on mercy. What is the reason? My purpose is to mitigate the justice. To mitigate means to moderate the demand for justice. To reduce. Mitigate, to make it balanced. Make it reduced. To mitigate the justice. That is to moderate the demand for justice. You are demanding that justice should be done to you. Justice will be done to you. But if we can moderate it, mix it with little certain amount of mercy, that will be good. That is my purpose of giving you a lecture on mercy. Now Shylock replies to Portia's great speech on mercy. So Portia's speech on mercy is important. It's the answer for one of the passages in your workbook. Also it is a question often asked. So remember. Shylock, my deeds upon my head, I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond. So Shylock says, I am ready to take it upon myself. My deeds upon my head means I take responsibility for what I am doing. Okay, I am asking for justice. I don't want to show mercy. I am ready to take the responsibility. I don't mind. I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond. I crave means I ask for. I am asking for, I am demanding justice. I want law. I want forfeiture. Nothing less than that. Portia, is he not able to discharge the money? Now, since Shylock is very adamant that he should need the forfeiture, penalty to be paid, so Portia asks another question. Is he not able to discharge the money? Is he means Antonio. Is Antonio not able to repay the amount? Bassanio. Yes, here I render it for him in the court, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I will be bound to pay it 10 times over on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth. So Bassanio says, no. I am ready to pay whatever he wants, even double of it, triple of it, whatever he wants. I am ready to pay. That will not suffice means that is not sufficient. Then I will be bound to pay it 10 times over. Even 10 times I am ready to pay. On forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. Even I am ready to forego my hands, my head and my heart. If this will not suffice, if that is not sufficient, it must appear that malice bears down truth. If that also is not sufficient, if he is going to say, then he is led by evil. His desire is to harm the person. Malice is doing something harmful to somebody, something to destroy others. So I am ready to pay double. I am able to pay even 10 times. If that also is not sufficient, that is what Shylock's reply. That means Shylock is led by malice, a desire to destroy the other. And beseech you, rest upon the law to your authority, to do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will. So now Bassanio is requesting the lawyer to be show little partiality, show little partiality, make a little change to the law of Venice and find fault with Shylock and allow him not to have the forfeiture. Portia, it must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. It will be recorded for a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be. So that's what Portia says when Bassanio requests her to make certain changes to the law and by which stop Shylock from having the forfeiture. Portia says it must not be, should not be done. Why? There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. So already there is a established rule, established custom in Venice. We cannot change the rule for the sake of one person. It will be recorded for a precedent. What is precedent is something as an example. In Supreme Court and all the court of law, they refer to the previous cases, previous judgments given. According to that, they decide certain difficult cases. So it should not become an example for the future generation. Yes, such and such a time, exemptions were made in the case of Shylock and Antonio. Therefore, we can throw exemption to somebody else. The rules will change. That will become a precedent. I don't want that. And many an error, it will lead to so many errors by the same example, will rush into the state. It cannot. So many errors will rush into the court of Venice. Therefore, we shall not set a bad example. It cannot be done. Shylock, a Daniel come to judgment. Yeah, a Daniel. O wise young judge, how I do honor thee. Shylock is in all praises of the lawyer. Portia, I pray you, let me look upon the bond. Shylock, here it is. Most reverend doctor, here it is. Portia, Shylock, there is thrice the money offered thee. So after seeing the bond, Portia says, 3 times the amount has been offered to you as a penalty. Shylock, an oath, I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice. So he says, no, I have made an oath that I shall have justice.